Hello everybody, I'm Violet from Navipix Photography and welcome back to another episode. In today's episode we're going to be talking about light on your subject when you're taking video or photo for commercial purposes. It doesn't only have to be for commercial purposes, like even when you're just taking photos or videos for your Instagram, Facebook or any social media platform that you are using. The light specifically that we'll be talking about is this little Aputure MC light. And what this light does is a bunch of functions that one video is just basically too short to explain all of them. It does have effects like police car, paparazzi, broken lights, fireworks. It has a fire setting where it pretends that you hold your hands over a fire, for instance, or you can use that for various different reasons. It has a TV setting, so if you're filming your face, you'll see that if you hold the light just outside of your shot, it will flicker like the TV is going brighter and dimmer. And there's a bunch of other settings that you can use it for, but that's not what we're going to be using it for today. What I want to show you today is when you have a subject like these two remote controls from the PlayStation, it's a pretty dull subject to be filming or to be photographing. And you can make that subject much more interesting by using just a little bit of light, colored light on your subject. So the first setting that we're going to do is we've got it set to U, and the U you can change so simply by just turning this little knob that it has on the side, this little wheel, and it will change the color. So as you keep turning and scrolling, the color will keep changing. Now you pick a color that you like, and what you do is instead of just having a dull subject, you can put this light off to the side and then take your photo in a much more interesting way. So when you look at the photo that I'm putting up right now, you'll see that there's just a little bit of rim light from this little aperture light on the side of the subject, and then I can move it around and go to the front and give it a complete different look. And I can go to that side to give it a rim light on the other end, which will make it look completely different to any of the previous shots that I've taken. You can also go a little bit wild and put it right in the shot, which will now give your subject very bold, expressive look. Or you can just hold it from the top down and get a little bit of reflection on the buttons, which will obviously then change your look as well. So everywhere that you put this light will have a complete different look on the very same subject that you are filming. And if you're doing B-roll shots, we'll go over to video setting and we're going to do just a short little B-roll, which is a stationary B-roll shot, because I just want to show you how light can create movement in a shot. Instead of moving your camera around, you can actually just move the light around. So if I'm to move the light around like this, you'll see that the reflection of the light on the subject will make a complete different look to just a static video shot. Now you don't want to always have moving lights. Sometimes you want to move your camera around, but it is beneficial if you have a static shot like this, which you cannot actually move the camera. There's a reason why you can't move the camera, because the subject has to be stationary in the video. Then just move the lights around to give it a much more interesting look. Now in my previous video, you'll remember that I've explained to you, I have these two backlights, these two strip lights. If I'm filming from that angle where my YouTube desk is to the back of my station, you'll see these two strip lights on the wall. Now they're not only there for the look, they're actually there because I need some additional light on my subjects. Now I can bounce this light and reflect it onto my subject, or I can block it off however I choose my subject to look. So if I have a certain look in mind, I can use, bend and shape these two lights in the back on this photography standing desk. Thank you, Karen, look for the suggestion. My back is getting better. And I can bend and shape this light however I want to make my subject stand out from the background. And that is what these two strip lights are for. because this is now my permanent photography desk, I will definitely need these lights off to the side. I don't always use soft boxes and I don't always use top-down lights, so these two lights are sufficient for me to take these photos, and it can look very professional without professional lights. Some subjects you want the edges to be very sharp and you want to see that light reflecting off that edges to sort of give it a glow. And on other subjects, you don't really want to see that harsh light because you want to have a more soft professional light look, and that's when I'll block off these two lights from the subject only, but they will still provide enough light for me to shine onto my subject to expose it properly. All right, so we'll go to another setting here, another color setting, and then I'll show you how different these two remote controls can look just with the change of the hue on the little Aputure MC light. So we're still in video, and I'm going to take a short B-roll clip and just move the purple hue light just around my subject, and then you can see as soon as I move this light around, the subject looks alive. And we'll move over to photo, and as soon as we move over to photo, we'll place this on the side and we'll have a very sharp rim light on the side of the subject with my light just outside of the shot. And we'll take the shot and we'll move it to the front and to the side. And then we'll be bold and put it right in the shot, just for the fun of it. Okay. Then without the Aputure light, you know what you can do with color now, as I've showed you in the video, that you can actually twirl your light around your subject in any way that you want. You can also make sure that you put the light in the side or in the front or in the back of your subject. You can include the light, you can exclude the light. You know, the physical light, you can include or exclude it from your shot, but you'll still have the reflection of that light on your subject. Now these two lights on the side, if I was to just take a photo without any colored light shining on my subject, then the shot would look like this. And if I decide to switch off this light, you'll immediately see a change when it comes to the side of the subject, which now is much darker and does not have as much separation from the background as it had when the light was on. I really hope that any sort of light that you can use in your house or in your studio can make your shots much more interesting for you, now that you know that colored light can actually create movement in your shot on a static B-roll with a camera that is standing on a tripod. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you did, please like and subscribe down below, and don't forget to ring the bell so that you can get more notifications on previous videos coming up. Cheers.